If I personally sent you this video, it's because we're die-hard VR enthusiasts and I believe we're all missing a very vital part of the future of VR, and we're seemingly the only ones who can do something about it. First off, I am the Guinness Book of World Records holder for the first and longest running video blog, The Journey, now entering my 24th year. I make my living, however, as a documentary filmmaker as well as running RentTheDeLorean.com and various other showbiz pursuits. My YouTube channel isn't even monetized. It's simply the best way to organize my video blogs, so this isn't an attempt to drum up views. I just know that if a daily use future for VR is going to happen, we're going to need to start paying attention to something that will eventually be as important as gaming and social applications. Passive, VR 180 3D viewing. Yes, a niche that is presently dominated by porn. Is starting to see some pretty evolutionary steps, and even VR enthusiasts aren't aware their headsets can even experience this because the landscape has been filled with blurry, two-dimensional, 360-degree videos that require the viewer to somehow be mobile and also seated, an experience that does more harm than good as you can't direct the viewer in any meaningful way. This is actually where the porn industry led the way, by doing away with the two-dimensional 360-degree cameras and sticking with the far more present three-dimensional 180-degree viewing angle. They coined it VR 180, which implies it's 3D, and when done correctly, it's breathtaking. However, other genres of VR 180 have not been. Poor production quality, nauseating movement, and jump scare gimmicks are still the norm. Few have understood that the magic of this technology is presence. Simply presence. And in fact, the majority of non-adult content are travel videos where the three-dimensionality is completely lost. This technology requires content within a 4 to 5 foot radius, and what is going to push it mainstream are more personal, connecting stories and videos. What we have to understand is that the future will indeed be a pair of glasses that are a mix of augmented and virtual reality, which more than likely will use a low-latency video pass-through to achieve. That means someone will sit down with their coffee and look straight ahead while seeing their messages, information, even floating pictures and video, but they'll also be able to make it instantly immersive for a few moments if they choose. Watching a product review, a podcast, a video from their friend's vacation, the preference will be VR 180 video in these situations simply because the presence, even if just one picture, is overwhelming. If someone posts a VR 180 picture of their wedding on Facebook, they can select it immediately and be within the picture, look around for a bit, and then quickly move on. And Big Screen's new headset really hits this home. These devices will be catered to each individual just like regular glasses are today, and it won't be some cumbersome setup you hand over to a friend. Just like you wouldn't hand your glasses to your buddy, it'll simply always be with you. So last year I decided to put my money where my mouth is and invested well over $12,000 to shoot and produce VR 180 Journey content in 8K 60 frames a second. Now I fortunately have an extremely varied and random life to document thanks to the adventures with RentTheDeLorean.com as well as all the other showbiz avenues in my life. The response so far has been overwhelming, and it's all been from people who had a VR headset and never knew video could look this real. And the most impressive of the first dozen videos is simply sitting at the bar having a conversation while bringing up video in a 3D space between us. And therein lies the rub. There's no grab you clickbait thumbnail for two guys talking. But that's also where the magic is. Within 1 or 2 minutes you forget you're even watching a video, and when it's over, your memory is of sitting with us, not of watching us. And it's only possible in a VR headset in 3D with 180 degrees of movement, allowing you the freedom to look around. So this is where you come in. People need to know this is available during their VR downtimes. You know what I mean. You got your headset on, you don't really want to talk to anyone, you're not in the mood to jump around or game, but you want to have those wow moments your headset can provide. If they realize this exists, the demand rises, the content improves, and suddenly, this metaverse we all talk about is a more well-rounded experience and one the mainstream can actually wrap their heads around. It's one more spoke in the wheel of VR that for many people may be the only thing they use it for. I know it's hard to imagine as we're so invested, but some people just like to watch movies. So if you'd like to see the progression of my first dozen VR logs, you can check out Adam Contras, no space, on YouTube VR, Adam Contras, no space, on Meta TV, and for the best quality and premium experience, First Vlogger, no space, on DOVR. As well, if you are in the Los Angeles area and would like to talk about this at the bar in a future VR log, or hell, even on Zoom, that is absolutely what's going to push this medium. I feel like these are the missing pieces of the metaverse, and we're holding the pieces.